Like everybody has like that special thing that they can do.
What do you mean?
I'm just talking to the camera. I was just like I was like, Aiden actually, he's been rapping lately.
Trying to.
He is actually musically inclined. It's pretty weird.
Well, everybody's got some music in them at some point.
Yeah, I know, but I think he has creativity, which not everybody has. But I have none of that. So, but Laura, like, I've watched her never play an instrument before, like piano. And a couple years ago at her Christmas party, she sat down at the piano and started playing Christmas songs.
Laura
Just from hearing that, she was like, "Oh, here's the C note," and then she just like, I was like, "How does that happen?"
You guys been together for 26 years?
Yeah,
25 of marriage, and
Yeah.
you didn't know that she had any
she
musical
can
inclination.
sing, so she can sing. She's always been able to sing. She actually won a Rockford competition years ago.
That's
man.
awesome.
Like it was like a karaoke thing.
Yeah.
But she is an amazing singer. I've forced her one time. We were in a bar and there was a live band and they had a break and I was like, "Hey, can my wife sing with you guys?" She's never done that before in her life with a band or whatever. And they were like, "Okay, what does she sing?" I was like, "I don't know, but she's good." So like she'd sung some Janis Joplin songs and then she did the one song, was it Mercedes Benz or whatever that song is? Oh Lord, won't you buy me Mercedes, whatever that one is.
Well, we're gonna have to have her sing that. Maybe she can come on the show.
She won't do it.
No,
I don't think she'd do it now.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was like
That's
the bar.
fine.
So coincidentally, we were at a Marine Corps birthday and
Well, hey,
ball.
we got to start recording first.
Oh yeah, no, my
Yeah.
bad.
All right. Anyways, Kiko, if you're ready, bro, let's go.
Welcome.
Radio voice for middle staged.
I have a face made for radio.
Yep, there you go. Exactly. I just got a message from somebody I'm going to have a meeting, and they're always asking about, like, where do you want to meet? And my default answer is Beloit for drinks. Let's go. Yeah.
It's always, I love Beloit drinks.
Can't get enough of it.
No. Although,
Speaking of drinks.
I will tell you this. So we went to a bar in Beloit a couple weeks ago, and they got upset that we had a large group to come in and didn't call ahead.
What?
I swear to
Why
you.
would somebody be mad that you're bringing a big crowd into their...
I swear to you, man. They were upset about it.
How big was your crowd?
Maybe 12 or 15 people.
Okay.
But nobody had expectations of like, oh my god, like we didn't order food or anything. We were just there for drinks after dinner.
Okay.
And
Regular bar, restaurant, upscale.
it's
what?
a bar. The word pub is in its name.
Oh, yeah. Do you think they would love to have a big crowd come in and
Right?
just order all the drinks? Let's go.
They were visibly not happy with us. And we put some tables, in the front and put them together and stuff. They were not happy.
Okay, here's a good question, though. Is it okay to move your own tables at a restaurant?
Well,
Is that socially acceptable?
So first of all, it's not a restaurant; it's a bar. But
Well, I mean, they're serving food, right?
okay, they have a
But
menu.
anywhere like that, man, the question stands: is that okay for you to walk in
If it's-
and you to start moving their stuff around?
So if you have to wait to be seated, then I would say not a chance. But if it's seat yourself and you wait for, in this case, probably 10 minutes.
All right, that's a good one though.
Yeah.
I'm because I'm more of the tone where I'm like, yeah, it's fine as long as you know the people. But that's a
typically
good perspective. If it's seat yourself,
Yeah.
like y'all told me to do what I wanted to do, so
Typically-
this is what I want to do. I'm moving the tables.
I guess in that situation, maybe it's dependent upon how many cocktails I may have already had. But
Okay.
typically I'm gonna kind of like look at the bartender or somebody and be like, "Hey, can we move these or whatever?" Which we did, and again, really got no answer. And then when the rest of because Laura and I were the first ones there, so we started doing it. And then what we found out is when the rest of the party got there, that somebody was like, "Wow," they approached one of the individuals and was were mad that we didn't call ahead. And I was just like, well, you know, we have like 15 people. You're probably going to make $2,000, you know, off of this group.
It's funny you say that call ahead because I got a phone call the other day from somebody that wanted to know, and so yes, this is the kind of random calls I get because I'm so involved with the community. People, I do so much, and I answer so many different phone lines for different organizations or social media messages or whatever. I'm just like, people have my info, and they just call me. I got a random phone call from somebody I don't know that says, "Is Jimmy's in Roscoe still open?"
Somebody called and asked you that?
Yeah.
I think they're open.
I was like, yeah, they should be open.
Jimmy Z's, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Z's. And I was like, I was just there like a month ago. I imagine they're open. And they said, well, we keep calling and nobody answers the phone line. And I'm like, yes, it sounds about right. It's the type of place it is. Like, they've got 2 people working there, one in the kitchen, one out in the bar, and they're slinging food and drinks for, 60 people at any given time.
That place is always crazy too.
The workers there are insanely busy. You think they're going to stop making money to answer the phone to tell you whether or not they're open? No.
Yeah.
Maybe you go on Google and look it up. So that's what I did. I wasn't a dick about it.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh, like let me check. I'll jump online real quick. And I was like, yeah, they're open right now.
Isn't that weird though? Like I find that odd.
You mentioning calling ahead makes me think about that though, because if this is a pub, it's like a bar.
Yeah.
And you're going there, you're going to get some drinks, maybe a little bit of food. If you even tried to call ahead, is somebody even going to answer the phone?
Yeah, and if let's say the bartender answers the phone, are they going to say no? Like, that just sounds
right.
Now,
right.
If
the answer is going to be like, we will figure it out. Bring your people, bring your money, come have fun.
Now, if the bartender is the owner at the same time and they say no, like, you're a dumbass. But even a bartender, it's like, what? I don't get it. Like I said, yeah, they serve food and that's great, but
did you stay?
We did. We stayed for a while. I sucked down a few Coronas. I'm not gonna lie, but no, it was just really, it was very strange. To me.
Well, that doesn't happen to me very often. I've had plenty of opportunities to experience some stuff. If you can't tell, Can you not read, Jim?
I was thinking of a witty something to say.
Yeah, think faster. Day drinker. It's the best way to drink, my man.
Daydreamer.
The best way to drink.
No, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's right.
And mimosas are always on tap.
Absolutely.
My favorite drink.
So whenever I go down to Mexico, which is not enough, I always order like at least 4 mimosas to start the day.
Yeah.
And the server will look at me and be like, oh, 2 each? It's like,
no,
4 for me.
4.
However many she wants. 4 for me. It's always 1 straight down and then another with breakfast, and then another shot, and then you get to sip one when you walk out.
You burp the first one up and then you move on.
Yeah. Open up some space.
Then it's dos tequilas every hour on the hour all day long.
Until one of us passes out.
Right? Yeah, right?
Yes. Absolutely. I hate to say it. I do like an alcoholic beverage. I can't get over it. They taste good, and I'm not a drunk, I'll tell you. And I hate the feeling of being drunk. But I do like a beverage.
Yeah, man. It hits different. Like we were talking from last week was about like scotches and bourbons and wines and stuff.
Yeah.
I would say that it's all about the timing of it. I'm not a let's have one all the time person.
Oh yeah, like what are you going to choose?
Yeah, instead of what are you going to choose, but like but man, when I'm geared and ready for it, and that's what I want to do, I cannot wait. I love drinking beer in the morning.
I do. Are you a shower beer guy?
Oh, I totally could. I've gotten up and drank some beers 6 a.m.
Look, teach their own. Do it. I'm not a beer in the morning guy, but but I've heard of this shower beer thing.
I've seen,
And
yeah,
I can't get behind it.
I probably wouldn't do that. But right after, I could probably do that.
Think so?
Yeah, depending. Like, so Laura's dad and I used to, so we worked together, and on Saturdays.
Oh, please do not tell me you would show up to a job site
No, never
drunk after a shower beer.
Never during the actual workday, but on Saturdays. Well, on Saturdays, a lot of times we'd be in the fab shop, and we had a plumbing company, and we'd do some putzing around. But by 8, 9 o'clock, I'd be done, and so typically
In the morning?
yeah, we'd be done with whatever we were doing, or if we had some service calls or whatever. So, but a lot of times I found ourselves, we'd be out in Davis, Illinois, Durand, we'd go up to Broadhead, Wisconsin, and we just hit all the bars, man.
Oh my gosh.
And by the time lunchtime rolled around, I would be pretty drunk. We'd eat some lunch. Laura would be getting done with, she was a young attorney at the time. And so like by noon, she'd be like, okay, I'm done working. Cause she, like back then they had mandatory Saturdays. She had to go in. So,
okay.
And so I didn't want to sit at home while she was at work. So most of the time I'd just go out and hang out with her mom and dad, and her dad and I would get in a lot of trouble. So by noon I'd be drunk. She would realize that, and it would just start the day, man. And then, on Saturday nights we'd be out like before Aiden was born. So on Saturday nights, man, as a divorce attorney, somebody told her a long time ago, where do you find most of your clients? Where are you going to find the most of your clients? I tell you this, at a bar on a Tuesday night at midnight, you'd be surprised how many people want to.
People that are in the middle of a divorce or about to get one.
Yeah, especially if they're alone.
Or if they're not about to get one, they want to get one because guess why they're there?
Yeah. So, and I tell you, from a business standpoint, that was some of the best advice Laura ever got.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we were out a lot back then. So,
well, she also became one of the best attorneys.
She's pretty good.
That particular arm.
She cut her teeth that way, man.
Yeah.
In that industry, she worked hard for it. But yeah, Saturday morning beers, that was my jam, man. With her dad, and it wouldn't be cans of beer or bottles of beer. It would be a 10-ounce glass, like Davis Tap. I think it was Davis Tap. We'd go out there, and they had little 10-ounce glasses.
I want to make sure that we're very clear with the audience right here into the camera. We are not advocating for over drinking, alcoholism. We encourage you to drink responsibly. I personally encourage you to book all of your meetings with me during the day so we can go day drinking responsibly.
Well, yeah, we're just telling stories.
I know. It's so bad, though, because some people can't.
No,
they can't even have one.
No,
and it gets to be a problem.
And yeah, that happens. But you have kids, and then life moves on, right?
In my particular case, I didn't drink a lot until I was in my mid to late 20s, and I grew an appreciation for certain types of beverages into my mid 30s.
Yeah,
and
but
it's grown since then. So
like when you were young, because you grew up like out in Capron, right?
Yeah, Boone County, Capron, Illinois.
Yeah,
yeah.
You as a young man, you were very involved in the church.
I was.
Correct?
My family was, and then I put my roots in even deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, not that prevents you from doing anything, but you lived a lifestyle that just wasn't.
I was not given many opportunities to pound the drinks at parties as a young man,
which is not a bad thing whatsoever, man.
I did not put myself in those situations. And then as my views and my lifestyle changed, as did my opportunities, and I realized that I do enjoy a good drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
or 2 or 7.
But isn't it life's paths just kind of gravitate you to whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah. I love how Bert Kreischer says, I love drinking, man, and I'm never going to stop. he's okay with it. He knows who he is, and he loves to drink. And I don't know if it's a problem for him, but he seems to carry it pretty well.
I've seen that, and the way he explains it, it feels like a problem. It could be, but I'm not saying that dude is hilarious. We've seen him how many times in his stand-up
2-3
routine.
different times live. He's hilarious. I get the vibe that he loves his family and he's present for them, and he's got a fantastic career that he's developed for himself. And I have to think, I don't know if I have to think, I think that that's based on a good balance.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's just when he says that, and I want to be able to pull up the clip. Maybe I'll share it on our channels some other time. But he has this motivational speech behind, like, you don't want to drink, that's fine, but like, I'm never gonna stop drinking, man. It's
like golf.
It's
like
so,
when you learn how to golf, you want to golf until you can't anymore, right?
I don't know, man. People be saying, like, wake up on a Sunday morning, let's go to brunch. Yes. You're hanging out at home, nothing's happening. Your boys hit you up. Let's go get a drink. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, being able to say yes to more things without having it turn into a problem.
I agree.
I think that's what more people need in their lives.
Yeah, I think just being open to those things. I'm pretty conservative. But yeah.
Yeah.
When it hits right, like you said, if it's the right people calling, sometimes you look at the phone and you're like, I'm not doing this today. But
which happens more often now that you're a man of our age.
Yeah.
It's just some days my body is not going through that process today.
No, and you know what days are probably going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
It just like,
yeah. Which is surprising that being 42, almost 43 years old, how quickly I'm still able to bounce back.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've been out until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I still pop up at 6:37 a.m., roll to the gym, start your day, get to work.
Well, I think also, as you get older too, as a man, like, you have responsibilities. You don't.
Yeah. And understanding that you can't say screw it.
Ooh, I'm sick today. No, man.
Yeah.
As a business owner and things like that, you have to deal with your consequences, right?
I don't have sick days. No. I don't have PTO.
No,
like, I'm working.
You don't work, you don't make any money.
Period.
Yeah. So that's I think that would be something for just young people today, is just like, realize, man, like, in today's climate, there's a lot of online stuff and people making money doing. Everybody wants to be an influencer, and that's good for you, but the United States and the world still needs people that get up and go to work.
To work.
Somebody has to man something. Somebody has to fix something.
Right.
And realizing that, bro, you don't get paid if you're not at work.
That's right.
You don't get something for nothing.
That's absolutely right. You got to do something. And in my particular case, I've reaped the benefits of very hard work and good work for my clients. So I have freedom to decide, like, okay, that can wait until 9:30 instead of clocking it at 9 o'clock.
It's just responsibility. What
I can take a long weekend to Chicago or something, but I'm bringing my laptop.
Yeah, you're always like, especially you and Laura, like, you guys are always working.
Always.
If the phone rings and it's a client, you might be able to, or I know some things are less important than others, but for the most part, you're going to take that call, you're going to answer that email, you're going to respond to that text, just because you have to, man. Like, people have an expectation of service,
right? And there's also the mental strain of that, where I've been a little bit jealous over the years of some people that are able to clock out of work. Like, they don't have to worry about it till they get there. And the moment they clock out, they're driving home, their mind is focused on family and community and friends and whatever's going on that night, which isn't always easy. I mean, there's other stress in life, but all of those other stresses don't go away for me or other entrepreneurs either. I still got to worry about, is the laundry done? What's going on in my personal life? The laundry list of things that people have to deal with are usually the same for everybody.
Yep.
Across the board.
Yeah,
it's the same level of stress. It's just people in the situation that I'm in, although we do have the freedom to go and do different things at different times without having to worry about requesting time off work, we also never get to forget about work. That stress is constant.
Yeah, and especially when you have employees as well. I mean, you are. I mean, granted, they work on the things that they need to, but you're responsible for their well-being.
Yeah,
and their job and their insurance and things like that. Like that's an amazing, huge task. I think.
Yeah. It's not easy, and sometimes I deal with it by taking a 4-hour lunch break.
Yeah, it happens, right?
For a little bit of,
yeah.
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So here's teasing a little bit about having people shoot over some messages to us, asking if there's any questions that they would like us to answer. And I haven't really been able to go through them all, but I'm curious, like, how open do we want to be? Because I'm afraid of what these people might be asking us.
Well,
I'm going to look and see.
Yeah, see what we got. Do. We need
to tell us a story of why you're wearing the Boylan Titans shirt while I'm looking.
What Boylan? Mm-hmm. Hey, listen. So we moved our kid over from Hononegah over to Boylan this year. So this is the first time I've displayed any of the swag. Super good for us as parents, and for what we see for our kid. We absolutely love it for our kid over there. They just do a fantastic job. Really kind of getting into it. Laura and I haven't met a whole bunch of people. I mean, we know some people that their kids go there, but we've really enjoyed the transition with our son, especially educationally, man. Like I just like what they got going on there.
I know it to be a good school.
Yeah, and you know what? It's smaller.
I had a lot of friends actually that went to Boylan. Well, employees that developed into friends.
Sure.
From Boylan. Yeah, and a bunch of families as well from Boylan. A lot of them play in the baseball league.
Yeah, no, we've enjoyed it over there. The staff and the administration over there, very accommodating, very helpful, and they help you navigate some things that a lot of kids get lost in bigger schools, man. Like it's very easy to get lost in a number, and for us as parents, we really looked at it from a standpoint where what's the best for our kid. And it didn't matter anything else. And there's consequences from sports and things like that. So you have to wait, especially when you go from public to private school. You got to wait like certain times to be able to play sports and stuff. Aiden wasn't very happy about that. But in the end, that's not what we were looking at. Educationally, we really liked it. I like the student to teacher ratio. It's half, so I just think it's a better fit. I went to a large school in Pennsylvania, and I always told Laura that she graduated with like 45 people, 48 people, or something like that, and I was like,
I love those small schools. Man.
It's tough, man. Like when you don't have that big school experience or mentality. It gets socially and athletically, it gets really tough on these kids, man. And in today's world, I don't think children need any more things that are tough on them. Just based on social media and peer pressures, they are so much different than what they were for us.
Oh, to say the least.
Yeah.
An entirely different world.
Yeah.
And I think as parents, we need to understand that when we're raising our kids. Like we think we know, but they truly are not us. They're not going to be us. They're living in a different world with different problems. And although, some of the same general things psychologically.
But a lot of it's the same, but it's the access, man. Like convincing your children to not post shit on social media.
We did not have to deal with
didn't
that.
have
When
to
I wanted to go do stupid shit,
There were Polaroids and
I got away
110
with
cameras.
it, man. Like, yeah. Like, all I had to do was make sure my buddy didn't leave that picture laying around somewhere.
But they don't do some
in
of the
their
things.
house. They
like-
hide it in their sock drawer. It's fine.
Yeah,
But
like-
now you get people take one picture and it's listed on 100 different websites.
Well, not only that, nowadays in the state of Illinois, there are some schools that will pay kids to rat out.
yeah.
Bad, like I know it happened a couple years ago. I think there was a kid from Hononegah. He was like the star quarterback, and he was at a party. Somebody took some pictures of him and sent it to the administration. He got kicked off. He no longer played football ever.
And these are problems that we did not have to face.
No, man, I couldn't believe. I couldn't
Access to
imagine that.
information, the sharing, the online bullying,
Yeah.
the social pressure, all of it.
Yeah.
Even the filters on photos even changes the way that you perceive yourself.
Everything feels like, so when I look at it and you see some of it, and it feels like everything is a fraud because of like you can put filters on, and like, and we're all guilty of it. Like,
Right.
like all those apps that you can change your pictures. It's not even. It's no longer you.
It's not you anymore, and photoshopping has been around for a long time.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
not get
absolutely.
that confused.
Yeah.
And obviously, makeup is literally like real life filters.
Yeah.
So there's nothing intrinsically wrong with wanting to fix your appearance, but the access to it, the ease of it, has changed the way that our kids are perceiving themselves, their friends, and the world around them. And we need to understand that when we're raising them, that this is not the same world that we grew up in 25, 30 years ago.
I've had a real, since Aiden's become a teenager, I've had a real hard time making that transition.
Yeah.
Because I have one thing in my mind that I'm just like, well, he should be doing these things.
Yeah.
And then, you have to, like you said, you just have to take a step back. But here's the new caveat. Now you add AI. Dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, there's celebrities that they're suing people because they're like, I didn't even do, like, I think it was the Tom Hanks thing was there was that, there's been a few, but like, dude, AI is crazy, man.
Oh, yeah. And it's making fake news even harder.
Yeah. Like, what are you, the propaganda and
Yeah.
things like that,
Yep.
people, and not to get too far into politics, but like, look at people, how people vote.
Mm-hmm.
And, one lie, and next thing you know, you have 8 million people that are voting for that.
You read
and,
one headline that is completely made up.
Yeah.
And you base your entire perspective on a single person based on that one headline.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And any kids listening, be careful using AI for school, because there's programs that they can dump that stuff into, and they can tell if you're using ChatGPT and all those things to write your papers. You're going to get caught. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, just make sure you're following the school's policy, because some teachers don't care. Others are a bit hard-nosed about it.
Where I think AI is beneficial to kids nowadays, I know because it's increasing so rapidly, but they got these new programs for a lot of college kids, man. They bring their laptop, they can record the lectures, and it actually, I just saw a commercial for this, and it will create a study guide and like flashcards that you can study for.
I think that's a benefit.
Yeah,
that's pretty
That's
awesome
what I mean.
tech.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think is what needs to be pushed. But like having these things that do stuff for them where they don't have to actually do the work,
Right.
That's
Yeah.
not good. We're dumbing down America.
On a lighter note, a couple of questions came in.
Booyah.
The first one was that somebody's asking, is that actually coffee in your cups? I'm not sure if we're ready to answer that question yet.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, wouldn't you like to know? Actually, I'll answer as honestly as I can. Yes, there is coffee in this cup.
There is coffee in the cup.
There's absolutely coffee
Yes.
in this cup.
Yes. We have not abandoned coffee yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that we will.
If you know anything about me, I do spike my coffee almost every single time.
Yeah. Occasionally I will.
Yeah.
I like coffee. I like the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
so Christmas. I want to go back to Christmas.
Are you going to tell a story about?
You convinced. So I bought Laura a Christmas present based off of your recommendation. We just talked about this the other day. It is the most amazing coffee machine I've ever seen.
So good.
It's called a Spinn, SPINN.
2 N's.
2 N's. They have an app that you can order coffee beans. The espresso that I'm making at my house, like I was ready to buy one of those weird contraptions with all the handles, and you were like, no, take a look at this. And you were referred to that company from a friend as well.
Correct.
And I will tell you this, it is the best coffee machine. We're making
so good.
I'm making commercial grade, like
so good. So good.
Like the best cappuccino that I've ever tasted at a restaurant. I can replicate it.
It's insane how easy it is to do with this machine. And it's basically, oh, by the way, if we can get right here on this camera, I want to make something very, very, very clear. We are not sponsored by Spinn. Unfortunately, if you'd like to change that, hit us up. But if there's a way for me to find a referral link, we're going to do it, because y'all need to buy this Spinn machine, okay? Y'all need to buy this thing. Super easy. Like one click can make any type of coffee you can imagine. You can customize it.
Fresh coffee beans.
Fresh coffee beans to the extent where it only makes a cup at a time.
Yeah.
You don't have to waste an entire pot or
well, it's not a full cup of coffee either. Like it's an espresso. It's
well,
an espresso.
It makes espresso. It makes drip. It makes Americano. It'll make any type.
I haven't even
cappuccinos.
explored all this stuff because I'm
name it,
so
it can make
crazy about the espresso and the cappuccinos that I'm making. We bought the extra thing that it has a milk frother. It's a separate attachment, or it's not an attachment. It's just a separate thing, but it'll froth or just heat the milk, or whatever cream you want to put. You put like sweet cream in there or whatever. It is ridiculously good.
It's an insanely good machine.
I have one a day.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typically, I'm like a 4:30, 5 o'clock espresso guy.
Yeah.
So it just, because I like having that, like when we went to dinner last week or a couple weeks ago, I like ending a dinner with a cappuccino, man. A couple sugar cubes.
This is why I like you, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to keep it classy.
And so, yes, to answer the question online, yes, this is actually coffee. So,
do we got any more? Or you kind of?
It might. Well, I still sipping a little bit.
I'm talking about questions.
Oh yeah. So there's one other that I thought we could probably address. Someone wants to know how we came up with the name Middle Staged.
It's kind of been a work in progress. I mean, we've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe over a year. You think ish in the last 12 months? We've had numerous conversations. Like, man, that would be really cool for you and I, because we like to bullshit anyway. But I know you really thought about. You have done a lot more with this. I'm not the creative guy. I'm the idea guy.
Well, I'm an overthinker. So when you came and you said, "Hey, do you think we could have fun doing something like this?" I immediately thought, no. I addressed this in our first episode. Everybody has a podcast. Why do we need a podcast? Like that seems like just unnecessary. We live fulfilling, happy lives. It's not like we're trying to come out here and make a bunch of money or try to become famous or anything. We're not trying to be influencers. So I'm like, why do a podcast? But then the more I started thinking about it, I was like, this could be a great outlet for us. It could be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of great experiences and stories we can tell. And if nothing else, for some humor to impact a few lives. But then it's like, how do you do it? Like what even matters to people these days? And
I would have never been able to think of this. Like, but you have so many. I mean, in the marketing world, you have so many connections. And City Stage Studios this is a game changer, man. Like
it's absolutely fantastic
to have
for
this
the creative
access.
industry. Yeah, to have something like this in this area. And the options were, if we were going to do it, I knew that it needed to be at a high level.
We looked at buying equipment.
We considered buying and creating our own studio, and I knew that wasn't going to be really fruitful for what we were trying to do. And I knew that Josiah and his team here at City Stage had something great, so we checked it out. And as
Kind of fell in love with it as soon as we walked in here, man.
I knew it was going to be right because City Stage does everything the right way the first time.
Yeah.
Every time. But when it comes to the name, that was more birthed off of knowing that that's our perspective. Like, we are middle-aged individuals, and everything that we're going to think is funny, inspirational, all the stories we could tell, anything that we could offer anybody is going to be about the fact of where we are in our stage of life. And it just kind of worked, being that that's the age we are. That's where we're filming this at City Stage Studios. And knowing that also me and you tend to...
I'm not going to say that I have a different perspective, but so for me, I wouldn't say the goal, but for me, this was maybe a little different opportunity.
Yeah.
I looked at it, so I think everybody can kind of resonate with the fact that as you get older, your circle gets smaller.
Amen to that.
And it's okay. Unfortunately,
not only is it okay, I think it's right.
Yeah, you just and you go through circles of friends, and it's not that they're no longer your friends. It's just whom you are closest to at the moments of your life.
Yeah,
and we've always been friends, so it actually made it pretty easy. But I think Laura and I talked about this, and you and I talked about this, and we haven't really hit this, but I personally feel that a middle-aged man's perspective on life issues is a dwindling idea, because it's not as I don't want to say popular, but I think our age group is not being left behind, but they're less effective a lot of times in the world today.
I hate to say it, but sometimes I feel like my viewpoint is not respected because either the younger generation thinks that I'm a boomer and it doesn't matter, I don't understand
boomer,
their problems, and the older generation looks at me as a kid still. Yeah. I'm right there in the middle somewhere, and
I think our children are going to save the world.
I think let's friggin' hope so, because somebody has to.
Just like the baby boomer generation, those were very unique individuals. You look at the folks that like fought in World War II, for instance. Like those people were cut from a different cloth, man. Women and men alike. They were kids, and they went and did horrific things. A lot of them, and the people who were at home had to step into these factories and do all those things. I think in the world today, we're kind of a crazy generation, man. Like I woke up, I remember being 10 years old, man. I was up 6:30 in the morning. I would shove a bowl of cereal down my gullet, and I was gone.
Yeah.
And when the lights turned on, I had about 8 seconds before my mom she could whistle, and you could hear it from like 8 miles away.
And you got to come home now.
My ass better been on our front porch. Yeah. So, and during the day, if I wanted something to eat, if I came home, fine. A lot of times I was at a buddy's house. Somebody would have some peanut butter and jelly. We'd eat that. We'd go play baseball. We'd go climb trees, make tree houses and things like that. And in today's world, it's just a little different. And I just think that I think our kids, they care about the environment. They want to work. They want to be successful. They're so technologically advanced. I mean, you can put an iPad in a 3-4-year-old's hand,
and they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Right.
That is crazy, and that's the evolution of technology, man.
Yeah. Definitely different worlds, and because of that, because of the different generations, because we're right smack dab in the middle of it, it just sometimes it feels like our perspective is not heard enough, and when it is, it's not really respected or maybe even understood quite the same. So yeah, that's part of the reason behind the name Middle Stage and what we're doing here, trying to share some of those thoughts and funny stories and things, and making another thing here. So, and I don't want to be too serious about this, but men, especially men raised when we were raised to be strong, to not be emotional, and
I think young men today are being emasculated, to be quite honest.
maybe.
That's just a personal feeling. I think because it fits society's theory or whatever is going on in society is, and I don't get me wrong. It's not a dig about women or anything like that. I just think that the traditional male model in humanity is just being gutted.
It could be, and I guess we'll find out whether or not that's good for humanity overall. But I do know that throughout that process, everything that I've been going through over the last 20 years of my life, it's taken me to now to be secure in who I am, to know that it's okay to cry sometimes. It's okay to not be okay.
It's okay to fail.
And it's okay to express that, right?
Yeah.
Where back in the day, you were shunned on if you were a man that was seen as emotional or sad or unsuccessful or couldn't take, like, if there, to even express disappointment or emotion in any way.
Yeah. I mean, think about our fathers, and just like it wasn't acceptable.
Yeah. So men having conversations like this didn't happen.
No.
It was always, about what car you're driving and what's happening at work and, what cigar you're smoking. And there was never anything real. And I know we've developed that kind of a friendship and an ability to be open with each other.
Feels like we're on your couch or my couch. Just
bullshitting, having exactly. And I think more men need to have that sort of a friendship and outlet. And maybe if nothing else, if they're able to see two grown men who are strikingly different types of individuals, both being able to come into the middle and say, you know what, I struggle too. Hopefully that means something.
Yeah, I think getting struggles out, I don't always, I'm not very good at it, but I think it's healthy. Most notably, I use Laura is my outlet. Just because, and it wasn't until just recently, man. Like, first 15, almost 20 years of our marriage, like I kept a lot of things in.
Yeah.
And it's just trust and realizing that that's your person, and going through life with somebody that feels the same struggles that you do, and inherently wants you to succeed in everything you do. And I think there's a lot of people that don't have somebody in their life that wants to see them succeed. It's you look at kids growing up and kind of a baseball conversation. Kid wants to play baseball in college. There's going to be 150, 200 kids at all these colleges that want to play baseball. And it's easier for the coach to disqualify you, to get you off their list, to narrow it down. And like, just think about that for a second. Like, we talked about social media and all those things. So having somebody that wants you to succeed, and like, you're one of my partners in crime, man. So that's the best heartfelt thing I'm going to do. I won't talk about it again.
That is the long, but still not perfect answer to the name Middle Staged.
Yeah.
If we want to be superficial about it, it's a play on words that I thought was cool, and I thought I did a good job on the logo.
Yeah, so. And isn't that a cigar in the middle?
It kind of, when you said that, I was like, that kind of does look like that could be a cigar. We'll figure that out. Maybe we'll have a episode somewhere where we're sitting around a campfire and puffing on something, sipping on something. Let people into our real life.
That didn't sound right. that didn't. Nope.
Should we end it on that then?
I don't know. I don't think we're ready for that, are we?
Oh yeah, we're crunching on some time here, bro.
We are. I thought. Well,
we're definitely crunching on some time.
Really?
I don't know if people want to still hear us talk for this long, but
true. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to hear us talk, if you want to come hang out with us,
let us know, guys.
Look us up online.
To be quite honest, we enjoy dynamic individuals that have something to say. Nothing crazy, because get out. This is our show.
I'm also a very sensitive person. I can't handle too much pressure.
You a bitch. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So we enjoy this. This has been a lot of fun, man. I can't tell you Again, just having an outlet to be able to bullshit is pretty nice.
We'll keep on doing it as long as people keep on watching. So like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, and we will see you next time.
Peace out.
Peace. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I think we're crunching in on like